Hello viewers, today I'll be showing you how to use the div tags in various ways in our website. So some of you might be like some of you that already know how to use the div tags in your website, you might be like, yeah, I already know how to use the div tags, so what is this guy talking about today? Yeah, but not just that. I've checked different websites created by different webmasters right there on the net, and I've seen that they use just one div property to style everything on their website, making it look unprofessional in some cases. Yeah, some of them also would have loved to, use different kinds of divs to style different sorts of things on their website, so that different elements right there on their website will end up having different, let's say, designs, not getting to have just one design on everything on your website, making it looking not too nice like that. So this time what we are here to do is I'll teach you how to break these down into further classes. Like, you don't have, after watching this video, things you will be able to do is you won't be having to use just one div every time or just one div always on your website. By the end of this video, you will learn to use the general div and how to break div down into classes to style different things on your website. So before I continue this project, let me check if I'm having enough space, so that we don't just have to get cut short along the line while making the video. So I'm moving over to my file manager. Let me see. Right now I'm having 921 megabytes of space on my phone, so I guess that will be enough to carry us through to the end of the video. So without wasting much of your time, for you beginners, just if you have your text editor, whether it's Notepad++ or HTML tester like I'm using, just open it up, create a new project according to the language of yours, or a new file, or like mine, I'm moving right over to HTML tester. I'll be creating a new project, so just stick around. Let's see what we'll achieve at the end of this video. So right here, if you are wondering what these very set of statements are, they are SQL statements. It's not front end. If you want to grade it by end, it will be back end SQL statement. It says create database company, create stable employee. It's not in any way related to what it is we are here to do today. So I'll go ahead and create a new project. I'll be naming it, let me say D43567. So here you can go ahead and give yours any kind of name you feel like giving yours. But mine will be D43567. So I'll click OK and go ahead and begin to delete all what it is this application called the HTML tester has done previously, for better understanding. And for those of you who are a whole new to HTML, don't get this wrong. HTML, which is the hypertext markup language, is not a programming language. Yes, it's not a programming language, it's a markup language. So let's go. HTML, like I said earlier, is not a programming language. Do not get it wrong. It's a markup language. That's a language you use in building the skeletal framework of a website. But then once you want to get into the programming aspect, that's the back end aspect of your website, you go deeper into the world of coding. You get to learn PHP, you get to learn Ajax, you get to learn jQuery, and others. But then HTML today, the hypertext markup language, is not a programming language. It's a markup language. So let's go ahead. So for those of you who are beginners and are new totally to HTML, and this is your first video on my channel, I will urge you to please hit the subscribe button, turn on the bell, click on the bell, so that you'll be notified whenever I create a new video as a follow-up to this one and to previous videos right here on my channel. So to create a HTML document, being that the latest version of HTML as at today that we know of is the HTML5. So now if you want to specify to your interpreter that the HTML version you are using is HTML5. If you go like this, you go doc type HTML to your next line. Now that line, this very first line, which is saying doc type HTML, is specifying to our interpreter that this version of HTML is HTML5. We have XML, which is called Extensible Markup Language. I take it again. We have XML, the Extensible Markup Language, and we have other previous versions of HTML. We have HTML4, HTML3, 2, and the rest and back. But then this time around, we are going to be using the latest HTML version that we have today, which is the HTML5. So to your next line, you go HTML. Remember, do not forget our objectives for today. We are not just going to be using the div property of CSS in our HTML project, our website today. I'll be showing you how to break the divs the correct way down into further classes. Some people do it, and along the line, they make mistakes and get their project all jumbled up, and then at the end of it, making their website look unprofessional. Today, you learn just at the end of this video how to avoid that. So let's go to your next line. You declare your opening head tag. Now, how to differentiate the open or the starting tag of any HTML property from the closed or the ending tag of any HTML property is this. When you see HTML tag, it's just like that, having no other thing on it. It's the opening or the starting tag. But when you see it like this, let me just go ahead and close our head. Though it's wrong, it's not time to close it. So right now it's in the open head, so I'll go ahead and close the head. So in HTML, for you beginners, once you see any tag having the forward slash is the slash like this one that is going to the right. So to your next line, let me show you the backward slash. This is the backward slash. The slash that is tilting towards the left. Yeah, that's backward slash. But this time around, that is not. It's not in any way related to this project. So once you see any tag in HTML carrying the forward slash, know that it is a closing or an ending tag in HTML. So please, to save our time, let's just go ahead. Let's go ahead to the video. So between our opening head tag and our closing head tag, give some spaces. Declare your opening title tag. Right under here, close your title tag using the forward slash. So at least you've gotten this. You now know that how to close an opening HTML tag is just to add the same tag, but then before typing that tag fully, add your forward slash and you have a closing HTML tag or an ending HTML tag. So let's just go ahead. So title, how to use the div, that's the div property properly in my project, and how to break it, or let's not use that, but whether break or not, let's use how to subdivide it, into smaller classes. So yeah, this is just suitable for our title today. So right now we have our closing head tag. Right under your closing head tag, you give some spaces, declare your opening body tag. So that you won't forget, you go ahead and close your body tag. Please remember, if you are new to the channel, subscribe to this channel. Also share this video to other beginners, those who are struggling with HTML and web design. Please do well to share it over to them. So we've closed our body tag. Let's go ahead and close our HTML tag. Now, for the benefits of the beginners among us, I'll go ahead and rush over again through the explanation. So on the first line, having doc type HTML, starting with a left angle bracket, like when you are solving mathematical problems, less than, greater than. So the first left angle bracket and the exclamation mark is the one that is starting our doc type HTML, and the first line is specifying to your interpreter and to our web browsers that it's a HTML5 document, to be precise. So to the next line, which is saying HTML, specifying to your interpreter or to your web browser that generally all what we'll be doing on this very project is in HTML. So to your next line that you are seeing the opening head tag, it's the part is what that contains, is the one that contains whatever it is you are seeing in your title bar. Now, if for those of you who are asking, maybe who might not know what the title bar is, when you are using a computer to browse or surf the web, whatever it is, maybe you searched for, let's say, how to code, that part of your web browser by the left up there that is carrying exactly what is searched for, which is called how to code, that is what is searched for, it's called your title bar. It's different, it's not the same as your address bar, neither is it the same as your toolbar. So we are not going to be discussing about address or toolbar. So now this is the opening head. Is it that carries whatever is inside our opening title tag and our closing title tag and displays it right there for us. For those of us who use computers to surf the web, it displays it for us right there in our title bar. So let's go ahead. So now this is the closing head tag telling the interpreter that we are done with giving our work a head. So this is the opening body tag and the closing body tag. So between the opening body tag and the closing body tag lies all whatever elements that will be present on your website. So let's just go ahead. Then right here we have our closing HTML tag, which is the one closing this opening HTML tag. So please, to save time for others who already know about this, I'll be going straight down right to the video. Please, if you didn't get the explanation, feel free to drop a question for me in the comment section below. Just right under this video, or you go ahead and watch other videos, or you watch this video over and over again till you understand. So let's just go ahead to save time. So now let's declare our opening style tag. Remember, we have two kinds of style tag, the opening style tag and the closing style tag. So close style, open style right here, close style right here. So between the opening style and the closing style, just give as many spaces as you want. It doesn't really matter. HTML is not a language that is white space sensitive. It's not like Python that is, in fact, Python is just a white space sensitive language. HTML is not like that. Yes, so right under the opening style tag, you go div. To style your div tag, you give space. So you put your first wavy bracket, which is the left wavy bracket. Then right here, you put your closing wavy bracket so that we won't forget. So between the opening wavy bracket and the closing wavy bracket, let's specify. So our div will be giving it border radius of 5 pixels, which is 5px. We'll be giving it a padding of 40 pixels, which is 40px. So to our next line, we will be giving it a background color of, let's say, hash F2. Yeah, I won't tell you what the output will be. Let's just run it when we, use the div tags in our work. So we've styled our div tag and we are done with the styling of the general div tag for those of you who already know. So now for those of you who don't know how, we'll continue right under the style tag. Oh, sorry, your style should be right before your closing head tag. So right here under the closing style tag, we'll close our head tag, HEAD, we've closed our head tag. So right under the closing head tag, we declare an open body tag. Please feel free to rewatch this video to understand properly. I'm just doing this to save time. So let's go ahead, and since we've designed our div, let's go ahead and use it in our project. So opening div tag, closing div tag, being that we've styled it with CSS. So between your opening div tag and your closing div tag, you just give some spaces and we go right ahead and do our project. So let's say heading 1 tag, which is the h1 tag. Let's say this is what a mere div tag looks like when designed. Yeah, so let's go ahead and close our heading 1 tag. So let's run it for those of you who are eager to see what it is we will have as an output. Please subscribe to this channel, share this video, and also like it. So this is what a mere div tag looks like when designed. Let's go right back. I think we are missing something. Div, border radius of 5px, opening div, right here. Okay, opening style. Let's see. Now let's just go ahead. This is what we call debugging in programming. So opening style tag, here we got the opening style tag, opening div tag, and also yes, for those of you who are downloading the HTML tester application, the only disadvantage in that application is when you have errors in your work, you have to do the whole debugging process with your eyes. Yeah, that's it. So border radius, we set it to 5 pixels, padding 40 pixels. Okay, right here, this is where the mistake is. Always remember to add the semicolon at the end of every property you give to your styling. So let's run it. I'm sure we'll get it correctly this time. If you're a beginner, expect, in fact, you have to, until you've made mistakes, you've not started in the world of coding, you have to prepare for mistakes, but then it's how you get over your mistakes that matters. So this is what a mere div tag looks like when designed. So it's just a div tag, not broken down. Yeah, it looks nice. It looks nice. So let's just go back and use the center property of HTML to center our work. So remember to close it right down here. Being that the center tag was opened right above our opening div tag, so we go ahead and close our center tag. Being that right in this project we want all our work to be centered, so let's run it so that you see the difference. It has centered the work. For those of you who are just joining us, let me go ahead and remove the first, which is the opening center tag. I'm sorry, this is just for those of us who are just joining us right now so that they'll see the difference. Please observe it as I won't be going back again. This is what your work looks like when you've not added the center tag. This is what a mere div tag looks like when designed. So let's go right back and include our center tag. So you go center, and then you add this one. So let's run it and then go straight into our project proper. Yeah, our work is now centered. So let's go right back, and then to differentiate this work, let's add about 3 HR tags. HR. Now, if you are wondering what the HR tag is in HTML, the HR tag in HTML is the horizontal line tag. It adds a straight horizontal line to your work. So let's just go right ahead and see what it does. It has added 3 horizontal lines, like I said, to our project. So let's go right back. Now, if you are wondering the horizontal line, if you are wondering why I didn't close it, please, you need to know this for you beginners. The horizontal line tag of HTML is just the horizontal line tag. It's not an opening tag, neither is it a closing tag. It's just a horizontal line tag. It doesn't have any closing tag. Just use it like that. Left angle bracket, you type your H, type R, right angle bracket, you run, and you have your horizontal line tag. So let's just go right ahead. Now, this is how to break these further down for those of you who didn't know. So right after the wavy bracket that concluded your styling for the first general div, you give some spaces. Oh yeah, that's it. They've brought light in our compound, so that means I'll be able to upload this video right after I'm done. So let's go div.u. Let's say div.u. We've broken down the div. Remember, these are first div, the general div. These are second div, a class. A class, we broke the big div down into. So div.u, be giving div.u, let's say a border radius of, let's say 0 pixels. I just wanted you guys to see the big difference between when you use just one div and just to style your website using just one div, and when you take your time and break the divs down into further classes, so that you all will know the right way of doing things from today at the end of this video in your work. So to your next line, let's also give it a padding. Let's not change the padding property, please. Padding, let's go the same 40 pixels, which is 40 px. Background color, let's make sure we give and specify a different background color for it this time. So okay, background color, we'll be looking at red. Background color red. So now if you are wondering how do I use this in my work in HTML, you go right under here, right in between this one, right under the third HR. So you just go div class. Yeah, and we've done it. You've broken down your div into further classes. So div class u, remember it was div.u. Yes, on this line it's div.u. So let's go ahead, div class u this time around. Close add your right angle bracket, so you close div. You don't have to specify close div class u, just go ahead and close the div. So let's say using the h2 tag this time around, it is the heading 2 tag and the closing heading 2 tag, h2 tag. So right in the center of the closed opening and the closed heading 2 tag, give some spaces. So right here you say this is what a div broken down into further classes. Yeah, we'll still be adding more classes. So this is what a div broken down into further classes looks like. So yeah, let's run it so that you see. Let's run it. Yes, so this is it. This one right here, this is what a mere div tag looks like when designed on our project. It's carrying a background color of a shade of gray, which is the hash F2. So this one right here is another div, another class altogether. So let's go ahead, let's break it down into further classes. So this one having red, it was broken into a class. This is the general div. This one is having the general div. This one is having a div that we broke into another class. So right under here, let's go back and break the div into further classes like I promised earlier. So div.mark, here mark is my name. All you need to do is just think of any name and break your div down into that name. So div.mark, it will still work. So let's go border radius this time around. Okay, we could do 0 pixels, which is 0 px. Let's try give our padding the same property for professionalism. So padding the same 40 pixels like we did earlier. So background color, blue is my favorite color. You can give us any color, so I'll be using blue this time around. So right under here, close your OV bracket. So now this is how to use another class that you broke your div further down into. You could use any name, be it in your language. So right under here, under the closed div class u, so we go again div class. So we go div class mark. Remember, for those of you maybe you might be wondering, maybe you are just joining us right now, this is where we start the mark. So let's go ahead and then div class mark. So div class mark, you close the quote, add the right angle bracket under here, go ahead and close the div tag. So right here you give some spaces. Let's say h3. Close your h3 tag, which is your heading 3 tag. So right between the open h3 tag and the closed h3 tag, you go, this is what a div broken down into further classes looks like in our website. So let's run it and see what it gives us as an output. So yes, so right now you have seen it that when using the div property in your website, you are not limited. You can create as many classes as you want to style different aspects of your website. Maybe the first line you are trying to emphasize on it, you could use red, you could use any color. So right now we have, this is our general div having a background color of, like a shade of gray, #F2, F2, F2. This is another class having a background color of red. This is another class having a background color of blue. And if you want to separate them, maybe you don't want them joined together just like we have here, you go back here, right under this close div, give some spaces, you go BR. You could put the BR tag, which is the line break tag, as many times as you want. The BR tag is just like the HR tag. The difference is it just pushes your work apart, and then it has no closing tag. So let's just run it and see the output, how further down it shifts our project. So let's see. Here you've separated it. So now this is the general div that we just did, just normal styling. This one right here, which is having a background color of red, a div we broke down into a class. So right here, this one is having a background color of blue, a div we broke further down into another class. So if you want to go further to style your div, you can come here, maybe div.u, which is div class u, and then come to this part, specify border. This time around, not border radius, just border. You could go 3 pixels solid. Let's see, solid. What color now should we use at the end? So we can say 3px solid black. Yeah, black is going to be okay. So we run it and see the difference. Here we have a black border around our div. We have a black border around it. So you've seen how to, break down the div and how to give further styling. Also, if you might be asking, how do we go further and style the general div? You come to this main div. Go also use the border property. This time around, not border radius, don't get it wrong. Border 3px solid. Let's give it maybe red. You could go ahead and use any color in yours. So let's see. And now we've styled the div. So if you want to still give some border colors to your website using your div tag, this is how to use it. Right here, we've given it, a color which is a border radius, a border property having red color. This is a class we broke further down, a div we broke further down into a class, and a div we broke into another class. So this time around, let's go right here and specify for this div class math and give it another border color of its own. So we go border right here, let's say border 3px solid. Let's say solid. Let's see what white will look like. Let's see. So let's run it. Please subscribe to this channel, share the video, drop your questions for me in the comment section below. So right now we have a white, a white border color for this very one. So let's go right back. And please take a look at the project right again. Let me go ahead and explain it before we end the video. Being that I'm almost running out of storage space on my phone, I'll take it again. The first line that is specifying doc type HTML is specifying to your interpreter and your web browser that it's a HTML5 document. The next line, which is saying HTML, is specifying to your web browser and to your interpreter that what we are doing is generally on HTML. Yeah, for those of you who are beginners, don't get it wrong, don't get us wrong. Yeah, as I said, what we are doing is generally in HTML, and then some of you might be like, but he added CSS. This is why. HTML is the container for CSS. You cannot just, do your CSS designs like that and just leave it. It won't even run. It won't say anything. So if you create anything that looks nice in CSS, you have to implement it on HTML. Like HTML is on its own. You use CSS to style your work in HTML. Please, I'll repeat. You use CSS, which is the cascading style sheet. I'll take it again. CSS stands for cascading style sheet. You use it to style your work in HTML, which is the hypertext markup language. I'll take it again, HTML, hypertext markup language. So the next line is specifying, which is this HTML line, specifying that all what you are doing is in HTML. This one, which is the opening head tag, is the one that carries every information that you are adding to your title tag, which is this, and it displays it right there for you in your title bar. So you have opening title and closing title, opening style right here, and then your opening style. Inside your opening style is where you get, every single thing you did as styling. Then for those of you might be like, how to use external CSS, how to create an external styling. Maybe you want your work to look more professional. You don't want to be adding your styling, into your, you don't want to be doing inline styling. That is internal styling, sorry, not inline styling. You don't want to be doing internal styling. You want to learn how to, do some external CSS files and import them into your project. This is how to do it. So we go ahead and save this work. If you're using HTML tester, save it as many times as you can. Just click the save button as many times to be sure that everything has been saved. So we go new HTML. So let's say external. External would be a good name. External. This time around, if you want to use .css, click on this .html extension. I'll take it again. If you want to create a CSS file using the HTML tester, you click on the .html extension and then you click CSS, and whatever it is has been converted into CSS. So you go OK. So you go ahead and delete whatever it is it has done. It has been opened, so you go ahead, let us save it, and then we go open HTML. So let's go right down. This is our work d43567.html. You open it, then you copy all your styling. So let's go ahead from here, right under from this div, the first div, that's the general div. You go ahead and copy all your styling, copy everything you did as styling. Now we've copied it. So let's go ahead, open HTML. To external.css, you open it up. Okay, let's go ahead and let's create another another one. Let's say outside, click here, click the .html and click .css, and then you click OK, delete whatever it has done. So you go ahead, long press on it, and then you paste. So let's check if it was imported properly. So we've saved it. Go ahead and save it as many times. Yeah, it will duplicate it, but to be on the safer side, it's just good. So you click open. As you've clicked open, you go to our d43567.html, and then you open it and delete all your styling. So let's go ahead. Yeah, I'll tell you what to do after you delete all your styling. Let's go ahead and delete all our styling and then import our CSS. Yeah, you learn how to import. Let's just go ahead and import our CSS file. So you go ahead and delete everything inside your style tag, even the style tag itself. And then this is how to add external styling to your work. So you go right under the opening body tag, you give some space. So right here you go link. That is, we are like just importing that our CSS file. So you go link rel, set link rel to style sheet. That is, you are telling your interpreter you want to import a styling that you've done externally, not inside, not anywhere at all inside our work. It's an external work that is done. So you go link rel style sheet, close the quote, ref. Yeah, this here will do the main import. So ref equals outside. Remember the name of your own, your own styling, outside.css. So you close the quote and then you close the angle bracket. We'll run it now. If we got it right, it's going to still work the same way. If we got it wrong, it won't work. So please remember, subscribe to the channel. Let's go ahead and run it. So we run it. Let's just wait. If we got it right, it will work. If we didn't get it right, we'll come back and start all over again. Wow, we got it right. So for you beginners, yeah, we got it right. So let's go back. If you are trying to see the difference between when you didn't import it, let's go back and delete this link. Let's go back and delete this stuff. So let's run it bare. Let's just run it bare so that you know what it means when you import and when you don't import. Let's run it bare. We have a raw work. It's not looking nice, no styling. Just say this is what a mere div tag looks like when designed. But there's no div tag here. Nothing like div is here. The div tags are just here, but there's no design. This is what the div broken down into further classes looks like. But there's no div, no designs in it. So we go right back. For you beginners, we take it again. You move right back under your body tag. With your left angle bracket, calling the link property link rel. Now the rel means relative or relative. It means it's inside our root folder. That is, it's inside our, it's somewhere inside our machine, somewhere inside our phone, somewhere inside our computer, but not inside our very website. So you go link relative, which is link rel, style sheet. Ref is the anchor tag, that's to import it. Link rel style sheet, ref outside .css. So you close this. Sorry, not CDS, outside.css. So you close this part, add here, and then we'll run it and see if we got it this time around. Let's see if we got it. Yeah, and we have our styling back. So let's just go right back to outside.css and alter some things inside it so that you know that you can control externally what happens internally in your website. So let's just go right back. Heading, let's first save this work. Save it as many times as you can, even if it duplicates it. So let's go ahead and let's alter some things in our let's say outside.css. So let's go. This is outside.css. We click open. Let's alter some things. I'm just thinking of what we will alter in it. Okay, let's just alter the color. I just want us to change something so that you see it's possible to work on your website. That is, work on the styling of your website externally. So you go, let's change the color to yellow. Yeah, I just want us to change something. So let's go ahead and save it and then open HTML. Let's go to this HTML file. Let's run it straight. Let's see if the alterations we did in the other CSS file work. Okay, it didn't. Let's go right back and check why it didn't. This is outside.css. Open. Okay, it didn't accept the saving we did, so let's go again. Yellow, add here. Let's try to save it. Let's see. That's just this is part of the problems I'm having with this HTML tester application. So let's open. So let's check this whether it has accepted it. Let's see. Let's run it and see if it affects it. Let's see if it saves it. Let's see if it saves it. It didn't. But then if you are wondering how to affect your, let's say how to change the stylings of your website through an external CSS file, you go, I wonder why the color is changing back to red. At least you all are saying the fault is not from me, the fault is from the HTML tester application. I've gone ahead and deleted this red and added yellow as the color we want. Let me go ahead and add yellow. The fault is not from me, the fault is from the developers of the application. So let's run it. This is just CSS. Still to confirm what I said, is CSS. It will just render your designs for you. CSS has to work with HTML tags. CSS can't work on its own, like I said earlier in this video. So let's go right back. Let's hit the save button as many times as we want. Then let's go ahead and open. It's just going there to to duplicate our work. So let's go ahead and run it. But then if you want to if you want to change some things in your website through an external CSS file, just go ahead in the CSS file, the external one, go ahead, change some things you want. I'm sure this problem is just because I'm using the HTML tester. I assure you it can't even be like that in your computer. Just go ahead to that external file, change what you want to change, refresh your website or your web page, and you have the change. Do not mind this HTML tester application. This is just a minor, it's a minor, let's say, minor problem. The developers, I think I'll let them know the next time I'll visit their, their store right there on Play Store. I'll let them know if they can, do improve more on this HTML tester application. Do not mind this fault. The application is still a wonderful application. Still get it, still download it, overlook these things, it will still help you in running your work in CSS, HTML, JavaScript. You can use it as a plain text editor. You can use it to take notes, without having to use your pen to write. So this is how to break down this into further classes. Remember, this one is just an ordinary div. This one is a div broken into a class, div class U, div class Max. So please, thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel, share this video, drop your questions in the comment section. If the video taught you anything new, please like the video and like all previous videos. I love you all. Bye.